How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So yesterday we got our first peek at Everson Pereira in the pinstripes, and we also saw a ridiculous performance, guys. This wasn't just, your run-of-the-mill, everyday player joining AAA. You don't hear about him for a couple months. This is our top prospect, Jason Dominguez. You may have not heard already, but he had an electric first game in AAA. Now, yesterday I talked about this in a player breakdown, and we also talked about this on the podcast. The Yankees are kind of going in this route right now where Jason Dominguez could get the Anthony Volpe treatment and get kind of promoted in 2024, given he performs well in spring training. Maybe they just make it his job to lose. Unless the Yankees go out and get Cody Bellinger, there's nobody really else that can come in and step in and be an elite center fielder, an elite outfielder for us immediately. Not to say Jason Dominguez is going to be anywhere close to that during his first rookie season in the MLB, but I'll tell you this. At least we would be committing to the future. At least we'll be seeing what this team will be in the future, and not kind of burying ourselves in the present, which is the abyss. It's problematic. But we want to talk about Jason Dominguez's performance yesterday, how he looked, why we're so excited, how Everson Pereira looked. But Ryan, before we dive into the good stuff, how you do today, my friend?
I know yesterday was a loss, so it's kind of hard for us to sit here and say, like, oh, we're doing great. But, ultimately at this point, like, we know the Yankees aren't making the playoffs, right? So, everything that happens from this point forward in terms of losing isn't as hurtful, I feel. And I'd rather at this point prefer for us to get positive news on the guys of the future, even if it means we lost that day. So, it's part of bringing up prospects. Like, Peraza and Pereira are going to struggle. Like, that's part of giving them everyday reps. You're going to figure out which guys are good and which guys aren't. But in Jason Dominguez's case, I mean, he's really exploded at now at the AAA level, but he really exploded at the AA level in that second half. And he followed it up with, a ridiculously impressive performance. I'm going to hope that the double rolls right now, but that double he hit, this opposite field just seed, 107.4 miles per hour. He takes a fastball that's up and away, just hammers it the other way. That's so impressive. Like, the bat to ball skills, the power. You look at what he's doing lately. Since the All-Star break, he's hitting 360 with a 419 OBP and a 553 slugging percentage. Then you look at the last 15 games, the power's been way up. He has 10 doubles in his last 15 games. He had 10 doubles all year before that. In that stretch, he's slashing 406, 447, 681, a 202 WRC plus, a 17.1% strikeout percentage. The two big things that I think are really important are the fact that he's got ridiculously good pitch recognition. He knows when to swing and when not to swing. In terms of out of zone swing rate, 98th percentile. In zone swing rate, 82nd percentile. So that means he's going up there, and when he sees a pitch in the zone, he swings. When he doesn't see a pitch in the zone, he doesn't swing, right? And that, if you boil down baseball to swinging when you're supposed to swing, you're going to have really good results. And in terms of swing and miss, he was at 27.8% in his whiff rate. That's the 53rd percentile for AA. This is a guy who hasn't faced a pitcher younger than him all year, right? I don't know if he's faced a pitcher younger than him really in like a year and a half, right? So we're at a point with Jason Dominguez where he's consistently facing pretty good competition. He's consistently facing guys older than him with more minor league experience than him. And now he's facing guys in AAA, and he faced guys in AA who have much better stuff than in previous levels. He really struggled to start the year, and there were a lot of concerns. And, even MLB Pipeline, they dropped him out of the top 50, which I think is silly. This guy's at worst a top 40 prospect. I've always said the farm, their strength is that not that they have a top 50 guy or a guy that you consider a great prospect, but they have a lot of pretty good ones. Jason Dominguez is kind of making me question that take. Do the Yankees not have a great prospect in Dominguez? I feel like they do. He's stolen 37 bases on top of all of the offense we just talked about. He's really, really good. I know that, just saying, oh, he's really, really good doesn't do it justice, but he's gotten better in his swing decisions. His process at the plate is significantly better than the results, and the results are still good this year. So I guess the question I have for you, Alex, is if the guy knows the strike zone, the guy has great power, and all he's done is hit, do you not feel like that? As you said, like, is there really a world where Jason Dominguez shouldn't be considered for a job in spring training? Now, I'm not saying that, he has to win it. I'm not saying he has to get the nod on opening day, but is it really crazy to think that he can? I don't think so. I think at this point, the median outcome might be that the guy opens up with the season in the major league level. And it also gives the Yankees an outfield of Pereira, Dominguez, and Judge, which, I'm not saying it's going to perform. You don't know how these guys are going to pan out, but it's certainly exciting. And if they do perform, you've got a really good team going forward.
Look, I don't see the downside to giving him a chance personally. You see what, and look, the Yankees were going into the season with Oswald Peraza as their starting shortstop. Anthony Volpe walks in and beats him for the job. A lot of people, and this is the thing, a lot of people keep saying like Volpe sucks. He's going to be a career 215 hitter. He's not going to be good. If we judged every player off their rookie season, we'd look like the dumbest people on earth. If you're sitting here saying that Anthony Volpe is going to be this, he's going to be that, you are looking at a small sample size, my friends. Go look at Derek Jeter's first season as an MLB player. You know what I mean? Like, go look at some of these players' rookie seasons. Not everyone starts off on a hot note. He was 21 years old, Volpe was, when he joined the MLB, and he barely had any AAA action. He was struggling in AAA when he was. He's looked a lot better as of late. I know Ryan posted a really good tweet, I think yesterday, about Volpe and kind of how his numbers have been increasing and improving over the past couple weeks, really. So you're starting to see a little bit more continuity and consistency from Volpe, but it's so early. It's so early to say if he's going to be bad, and it's so early to say if he's going to be good. We don't know anything, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be a fantastic player because I don't know either. There are encouraging signs of growth, and that's all we're looking at right now, the encouraging signs of growth, and we just don't know what the future holds. So anyone telling you, like, this guy's going to be good, this guy's going to be bad, they have no idea. You just don't know. The future, we can't tell what it's going to be. With Jason Dominguez, we don't know what the future is going to be like there either, unless we give him a chance to show what he can do. And I feel like the Yankees would be doing themselves a disservice if they didn't give their top prospect, who is killing it in AA, killing it. First game in AAA, of course, tiny sample size, looked really sharp though. The Rail Riders completely destroyed their opponent. He had 6 at-bats last night. He had 3 hits, 2 singles, a double, as you mentioned. Really good exit velocities. The power's there. And he's a switch hitter. Like, a lot of people, how many people in the comments yesterday were complaining this lineup is too right-handed heavy? Well, I'll tell you what, Jason Dominguez is a switch hitter, so he can hit right, can hit left. There you have it. You have an opportunity here to actually add some more diversity to your batting order by giving him an opportunity. So I feel as though the Yankees, the best interest of this team is giving him a chance. Unless you go out and you get, the only alternative here is this, in my opinion. The Yankees go out and sign Cody Bellinger, who's objectively the best outfielder on the market, to really overhaul that center field position, and then they transition him to first base after Rizzo leaves after next season, whatever it might be. You could transition Bellinger long term into a first base role if you sign him to a long term deal, and then you take Everson Pereira and Jason Dominguez and you say, let the best man win in left field. That's my take. Pereira can be your utility man in the outfield, or you send one of them back to AAA to keep developing them. That's not a bad alternative either. What is your thought on that? Do you think that there's a world where we see the Yankees go out, find themselves an everyday center fielder, and just ask Pereira and Dominguez to compete against each other for one of the starting jobs, notably left field?
Yeah, so, I think there is a difference between the Pereira and Dominguez potential battle and then the Peraza and Volpe battle we saw last year. But we did see Anthony Volpe leapfrog Oswald Peraza on the depth chart. Now, I think they like Pereira more than they like Peraza, but it still happened, right? Like, Anthony Volpe still leapfrogged Peraza on that depth chart. And, that was with the questions about whether Volpe could be a shortstop or not, or if Peraza was the better option because of his defense. So, we'll have to wait and see. I can't really say one thing or another conclusively, but I do think it's an interesting conversation to have. Like, how are the Yankees going to navigate their offseason? How is this going to affect how they look at their and making any potential moves? You talk about first base. Like, what does first base look like going forward? Like, is it Anthony Rizzo? Do they sign Bellinger and kind of shift him to first base over time? Does it make it harder to sign Bellinger knowing that you're planning on him becoming a first baseman? I don't know, right? Because, first baseman, obviously you're losing the defensive value of they're playing center field. That's obviously like that. There's a higher pay that goes with playing center field than playing first base. I understand that. But it depends, like, if he's hitting well enough, right? And that's another thing. And do the Yankees want to swim in those waters financially, right? Like, I understand that the Yankees can spend at that money range, but do they want to, right? Again, if you're Hal Steinbrenner, you're looking at this roster, you're looking at this team, you're saying, I put $293 million into this team. I'm paying a luxury tax threshold. We're going to have our pick move back 10 spots, and we didn't even make the playoffs. Hell, we're not even going to finish above 500. So in his head, it's like, all right, you guys these are the prospects. Make it work, right? Like, I could definitely see something like that happening. I will say this, the Yankees, for all of their faults at the major league level, it feels like it's a completely different organization when you look at the minor league level, right? Focusing a little bit on first base here, like, Ben Rice had a walk-off grand slam yesterday. He has 10 home runs in 27 games in AA, right? Like, I don't think anyone knew who Ben Rice was. Not that no one knew who Ben Rice was, but I don't think as many people knew who Ben Rice was 3 months ago as they do right now, right? The Yankees have a knack for finding guys who, who are not well-known minor leaguers and turning them into really good ones. So, we'll see if that translates to the major league level. I know that a lot of people are going to be in the comments saying you guys are raving about their farm system, talking about the future, but when's the last time they've produced a quality major leaguer? Well, when's the last time the Yankees have had a prospect, come up that I guess was deserving of that major league role? I mean, 2021, it was really like Frazier got the left field job, but then he played poorly. In 2020, when Frazier did play well, he got the job, right? And Gardner didn't have a bad year either. So having Gardner out there, he was a left-handed hitter. There's a reason the Yankees kept playing him. He was getting on base a lot. 2019, I mean, who was the rookie that was supposed to come up? I mean, you had like Tauchman, who was technically a rookie, but he was 29, so it doesn't really feel like that counts. And then 18, you have Andujar and Torres. So this is really the first time in since 2017 and 2018 where the Yankees have a window where, number one, they have the quality prospects, and number two, they have the playing time to give these kids a chance to struggle and work their struggles out at the major league level. So I think we're going to see a unique situation. And, end of the day, for the organization, it's put up or shut up, right? We can sit here and talk about whether the Yankees are going to fire Brian Cashman or not, but these are his prospects, right? So regardless of whether he's here or not next year, what he's done over the last 3 years is going to determine 2024, 2025, 2026, right? So if he hit on Jason Dominguez, regardless of whether he's here or not, that's going to either be the thing that helps us, or if he missed on Jason Dominguez, it doesn't matter who's the GM, that's going to end up hurting us. So you kind of have to just hope these guys pan out. I think they can. I think they're talented, but that's what it boils down to at this point.
And they can, and they will. They will pan out if they go about this the right way. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are talented. And that's the thing that, like, is kind of difficult to wrap your head around sometimes. Like, these guys are talented enough to be very good MLB players. Everson Pereira and Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, whoever you want to look at, these guys have the talent to be really good MLB players. Sometimes the teams do them a disservice. Sometimes they don't, elevate them or coach them properly at the next level. Not to say the Yankees will do that, but we've seen signs of kind of that trend in the past where, like, these prospects aren't reaching their potential because of the way they're treating them in certain ways. But I do think that these guys are talented enough to do it. You see the exit velocity, you see the batting averages, or whatever stat you want to use. It's there. Like, the numbers support their potential and what they can be. It's just a matter of giving them the right chances at the right times. And I feel like this rest of the season here, the next 4 or 5 weeks here, is exactly what this team needed to do. Honestly, I would have preferred it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, even calling up Pereira and giving them even more sample size, or right after the service time manipulation date. Give them as much time as humanly possible to adjust, because at this stage, the Yankees can't keep plugging holes with money, because we're already reaching that last luxury tax threshold. I'm going to stop at that one because we know Hal Steinbrenner doesn't want to pass that. The question we have to ask ourselves now is, like, how much leeway is he going to give Cashman this upcoming offseason? Given we assume Cashman's coming back, how much money is he going to give Cashman to say, go solve what you need to solve? You know what I mean? Go fix this team the way you need to fix it. Trade prospects or elevate your prospects. At this point in time, I'm more interested in promoting our young guys than trading them away, because we've gone down that route before. We've gone down the route of trading for, whoever it might be, Frankie Montas or Benintendi, like, none of them panned out. Of course, some of them were injury related, just could not see that coming. The Frankie Montas one was a blunder of gargantuan size. And, now we're kind of sitting here wondering, like, can we trust the front office to trade our prospects away for valuable MLB proven talent? Many teams do this, right? A lot of teams, good teams, trade prospects for guys who are proven at the MLB level. But I don't trust our process in doing that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, in the past, I'd say yes, like, leverage some of our prospects for MLB proven talent. Like, that's a strategy that is true and tried over many years. But I don't trust the Yankees in whatever they're doing to come to these conclusions, trading for this player or that player. I don't trust their process is where it needs to be. So with that being said, the only other avenue is to actually use your prospects, actually promote them, actually give them chances within your team, within your system, which they're starting to do, because they're realizing our prospects are not turning into MLB caliber talent when we trade them. They're not turning into productive Frankie Montas starting pitchers. They're not turning into, playoff winning Andrew Benintendi doubles and contact hitting. That's not what our prospects are doing anymore. We acquired some really good guys, like trading guys. We've done better trading our guys away for prospects than actually trading our prospects away for talent. And that's problematic. That says there is a problem within that system. So I am a bit concerned about that, and which is why I'm more in line with using our players right now than I am until we overhaul the whatever analytical decision making we are making. I love analytics for what it's worth. I like the process. I think it's a modern part of the game. The great teams use it, but the way we are using it is different than those teams. We need to adjust to whatever they're doing. And the process, the algorithms, I don't know what they have there, but something is off. The decisions we are making based on those algorithms are completely wrong. And who knows? It could be some gut decisions from the front office. It's hard to tell sometimes, but I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about Jason Dominguez. I'm really excited about what he did yesterday, and I'm really excited about Everson Pereira, and what he accomplished in his first game. Some nice throws, some nice plate discipline. He looked solid in some respects. Yes, the Yankees lost their 9th consecutive game, but I don't give a shit about wins and losses anymore, guys. Like, I don't care if the Yankees lose the rest of their games. All I care about is seeing what Everson Pereira can do, Oswald Peraza can do, Anthony Volpe taking some steps forward. If the veterans continue to struggle, like, it is what it is, but I want to see the young guys continue to take steps forward and put together good performances. Obviously, winning is better than losing, but I have no interest in actually seeing this team, like, finishing with a really, like, a competent record at this point. I really just want to see them get opportunities, gather data that we can make to conclude, make some decisions next year in 2024. Since we are out of the playoffs, like what else do we have to do except evaluate these young guys now? So I am excited to see that. And of course, you want to win baseball games. That's the goal ultimately. But right now, I'm more focused on those other things. So guys, always happy to hear perspectives below in the YouTube comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.